Alright guys, welcome back to Fastback Life. I'm TK. Thanks for watching. So, finally doing another video. It's winter's finally on its way out. I finally have time to do a video again. Not a lot happens in this garage when it's winter because it's freaking cold in here. And on top of that, my garage pretty much becomes storage. So, back to the Charger, talk about some stuff there. Talk about some engine stuff here. So, I'm going to talk about the rear quarters on the Charger. Got some stuff to talk about there. Yeah, so I was thinking of buying panels for the Charger, the rear quarter panels. There's really only two places I've seen that actually have them. One is like this online store called noramstore.com or something like that. They sell the quarters, but they sell like the lower half of them. And before COVID, they were pretty cheap. Now they're about $100 more, $150 more. So COVID made the price go up. Then there's a guy on Facebook. I think he's out of Canada. He makes some lowers, and he makes the whole rear quarter panel. And he makes them by hand. They're not, as far as I know, they're not stamped out. But that they are a little pricey. So those, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna do it yet because I want to run some Hellcat rims front and rear. They're 20s. They're 11 inches wide, and I want to make sure that they fit underneath the car first. And then if I can make it fit, then I'll buy the panels and redo them. You know, cut them out, weld them back in. But if they don't fit, then do I change my rim and wheel package idea I've got for the car, or do I modify the rear quarter panels in order for it to work? So a couple things I need to figure out before I actually go in and buy the rear quarter panels. But real quick, I don't know if you remember, but there was patches that were riveted in, and I took a drill bit and drilled through the center of the rivets, and so that is what was behind the patch. This just looks like it started rotting away and someone wanted to cover it with a patch. We go over to this side. By the way, we are on the passenger side. And same thing, there's a patch put in here. And I don't know what happened here, but these look like they were cut out. So I don't know if what happened here. I mean, obviously it didn't get crunched in because otherwise the back support would be crushed too. But they just cut right out. So I don't know what was going on there. So yeah, driver's side. We'll go over to the driver's side real quick. I did kind of like the same thing. So alright, so here I just drilled through the rivets again. You can still see there's a little bit there, but this one, same thing, it was cut out. So I don't know what happened here. And you can see that once I got the patch out, some of it was still, like some of this was covering that, so I couldn't see the rivets behind it. So I just need to drill through these rivets, and then that patch will kind of come off. And then back here, another patch, a little bit smaller. And I don't know what really happened, but it looks like it was cut out. Which is really weird because they were able to just go through the first layer, not the back layer. But you know, this rear quarter is actually not too bad. Well, I take that back. There's some stuff here all the way through it. So if I could get a lower half and cut it out, it'd be nice to keep the original indents there. But yeah, so that's the little bit I did. I was going to do it on camera, but I broke some bits and blah, 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 blah. A lot of cussing going on. But it was super simple. I just pretty much drilled right through the center of the rivets. If you use a big enough bit, those rivets will just fall right off. I guess you could use like a grinder head and grind the heads of the rivets off. I think that's another way you could do it too. So yeah, that's the rear quarters that need a lot of work. I don't know if I showed you before, but this is a door from a Coronet. Looks really similar to a Dodge Charger door. I got that out of a junkyard. I'm thinking that I can use some sheet metal off of there to repair my doors. I can't take that whole door and just throw it on, because there's some different stuff on it. And to be more specific, there's no holes here. And if you see on the other side of the door, there's holes on the top. So just stuff like that. And then this door actually had trim going the length of the door. Chargers don't have that, so that's why I'm not taking the whole door, just throwing it on. But it is a decent door. The rest of that Coronet at the junkyard was just garbage. But I did get some window stuff out of it. The other door was damaged, so I just took some of the internals out of that door, and I think walked away with a pretty good steal. But so yeah, I got a door. Panels need to get replaced. Those two places I was talking about, the NORAM and the Joe Phillips Restoration, I think that's what it's called. It's on Facebook. I'll put links down below so you guys can click on them and go check them out yourself. Or, Facebook one, you could just do a search for that guy. So, moving on, I did get an engine lift, which helped me get my 440 off the little pallet that it was sitting on. So 440's up. I still got the Hellcat engine block. I have been buying parts for the Hellcat engine block. I bought like a rear main seal. I bought a head stud kit, a main stud kit. I've got like the little plugs that go on the top. Just a bunch of bolts and stuff here and there. I don't have a Hellcat oil pump yet. I don't have the sprocket for the crank. I don't have a crank yet. I don't have a cam. I think that the crankshaft I'm going to use is going to be from Molnar. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly. And Molnar also makes Hellcat rods. So I still have to call them and make sure that this stuff will work, and see if it'll be strong enough, to be using a Hellcat. And then I think the pistons I'm going to use are diamond pistons. Now they got two pistons for the Hellcat, and I'm not sure which one to use yet. I have to call them and ask some questions. I'm not sure if one piston's like a straight up race piston and then the other one's for like street strip, or maybe you can use both pistons in whatever application you want. But they look awesome. I'm hoping that they're stronger than what the Hellcat normally comes with, because I've watched quite a few videos where the pistons, they just break. Same with the rods. But I mean, that's stuff that happens in all the other engines as well. So you just got to make your best judgment call. But everything's going to be like stock size pistons, stock rod size piston, stock rod sizes, and the crank is going to be stock. And then the 440, now that I've got it up, I can actually do a little bit of work to it. If I'm unable to do what I want with the Hellcat engine block, because it's going to be different than what other people have done. If I can't do it, I have a backup engine, or I just come up with a different idea for the Hellcat. The 440 is super cheap to buy parts for. I think like $2,000, and you can have a crank, rods, and pistons. You know, simple as that. And you can buy heads that are $900 to like $1,000. You can get some expensive ones, but the Hellcat ones, they're like $1,400 for each cylinder head, and that's aftermarket. That's not buying them from Mopar. You buy from straight from Mopar, it gets a little pricey. So 440 is, you can actually build a pretty sweet engine. Not anything close to what the Hellcat puts out, because the 440 is, if you try to hit what the Hellcat pushes, 800, 900, 1,000 horsepower, over 1,000 horsepower in a 440, everywhere I read is that chances are you're going to split that block. It just can't handle that much horsepower for very long. Sometimes you get a really good block, sometimes you get one that just won't handle it. Plus, drivability with a 1,000 horsepower 440 would be nuts. If you ever seen those videos where those people are backing the cars out of the garage, they just chug and they just shake because the engine just wants to go. Hellcat engine, you got the variable timing, all that fancy jazz on it, makes it drivable even though you have that much horsepower. So anyways, they're all up. Got the 727 transmission sitting there too. That needs some work, but I'm keeping the 440 just in case. Ultimately, I'd like to put it in a pickup truck. We'll see if that happens. Old pickup truck. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Now that summer's knocking on the door, I can be in here more often doing some stuff. This car is getting closer and closer to getting sandblasted if I can just figure out the rear end situation. I don't know if the rear ends, if they can get like the same bolt pattern as the Hellcat rim, because I think that's like a 5 by 115 millimeter, whatever. And I need axle shafts that'll go into a rear end in order to use those rims. So I got a bunch of stuff to ask those rear end places to see if it's even possible. If it's not, then I honestly don't know what's going to happen yet. I just need to figure that stuff out. So, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you like this. Let me know if you have any ideas for, you know, the rear quarter panels. AMD, I believe that's what it's called, American Metal, whatever. They don't make these rear quarter panels yet. I have been bugging them nonstop. So maybe by the time they decide to make them, I'll be ready for them. Maybe I'll be buying for them Joe Phillips on Facebook, or maybe I'll buy NORAM. I'm not really sure what's going to happen yet. I'd really like to get my hands on the ones that Joe Phillips makes. I want to see them. Anyways, so leave a like, leave a comment, anything you got to say, let's hear it. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.